This morning, there is a warning about a new dangerous drug as it makes its way across the southeast. Atlanta News 4 senior reporter Patrick Quinn had a chance to speak with the head of the DEA Atlanta office.
Anytime that we see some novel new synthetic opioid hit the market, it's all hands on deck.
Atlanta's DEA Special Agent in Charge Jay Chung said cyclorphine, a drug developed in the 1950s, is resurging across the southeast. He believes it's circulating on the dark web from Chinese vendors. The main cluster is in East Tennessee, where it was already detected in 41 deaths since last February, with 5 more under investigation. And at least 9 other states have confirmed cases. Chung said the message is clear when dealing with such a deadly threat. Know who you're getting your pills from.
If you're not getting it from your physician in a legitimate pharmacy, you truly are playing Russian roulette with your life.
Cyclorphine is so powerful a person experiencing an overdose may require multiple doses of Narcan to counteract its effect.
We're taking them very seriously.
In a sit-down interview with Chung, who was promoted to Special Agent in Charge in Atlanta just 3 months ago, he said meth remains the DEA's biggest concern across the metro, with fentanyl close behind. They continue to find major shipments of these drugs smuggled across the Mexican border in everything from celery, cabbage, carrots, cucumbers, and blueberries.
Fruits and vegetables is one. We've seen their smuggling methods, metal pipes, inside wood, hollowed out wood. We've seen it in pavers.
We had a look inside the DEA's labs where they test seized pills and powders. This substance turning dark red is positive for methamphetamine. Chung stressed it's not just illegal drugs like meth and heroin that can be laced with fentanyl, but also more common drugs like Xanax, Vicodin, Adderall, and oxycodone.
We've seen it in all these pills. And so, like I said, if you're getting a pill of any kind off the street or off the internet, or you're just trying to experiment, well, it could very well be your last.
The good news, between enforcement and public awareness, fentanyl overdoses nationwide have decreased by roughly 35% since 2023. The concern now, new threats like cyclorphine coming online. Patrick Quinn, Atlanta News First.